Alright guys, then I would say we get started with our first day of this week. Monday was the 12th of December right here, and now we're gonna start replaying the London kill zone right here, starting from 2 a.m. New York local time up until 5 a.m. New York local time. And we're gonna be live executing those trades with the new TradingView feature to basically enter a position during a bar replay. So I'm going to slow the chart down to a 0.3x, or maybe even let's do a 0.3x. That should be all right. So what we are going to do is we are going to replay through the price action that happened so far during this week to see how much profit we would have made using the Scalper Pro stochastic RSI strategy. All right, so we start playing it. And right here, we saw that we had a news candle forming. Right here, we had the GDP month to month. So what happened here basically is that we took out sell side liquidity below the Asian session low right here, where we formed this little double bottom. We took that out, and now my bias was already bullish for the day. We're above the VWAP, but the stochastic RSI is not lining up with us yet. So we wait, and we are ready to execute our positions right here. Right here on this candle, okay, we're about to get our crossover in. We are now in the oversold territory, and we got our entry in. So right here is where we're going to enter that position. We just crossed over here. The candle has closed. So what we are going to do is we are going to take our long position tool. We are placing our stop loss right here at a 12 pip stop loss, looking forward for a 24 pip take profit target for a simple 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. So we're going to keep playing it, and we're going to close the position once we hit our take profit target. All right, so let's keep playing it. We're still above the VWAP. Right now, price went a little bit sideways. The stochastic RSI is now in the overbought territory, and we're about to hit our profit target. So I'm getting ready to hit the sell right here. Done. So our first trade already was a profitable trade during this week. Now we are waiting for a new bullish stochastic RSI crossover since we're still above our VWAP. Alright, let's continue playing and see what we can do. Alright, we are in the oversold territory again, so now we are waiting for our bullish stochastic RSI crossover. We also got the highest probability setup after a breakout, a retest of the VWAP, and now if we get our bullish crossover, we are going to enter long into the market, so I'm getting ready for a buy position right here. Alright, we have our crossover confirmed right here on this candle already. As soon as this candle closed, we saw that both of those lines have crossed over. So we enter into a position right here, and we place our stop loss at let's do a 10 pip stop loss because there's no most recent swing low. We do a 10 pip stop loss, and again, we go for a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, and we're gonna keep playing it, ready to hit the sell button. All right, it's already running into our direction again. Let's see if we can hit our take profit here on GBP USD. We found a little fair value gap, and right now we're closing this position here as well. Let's take a little break and analyze it. So we had our bullish stochastic RSI crossover right here on this candle, and we had our bullish stochastic crossover right here on this candle. So as of right now, we made 2% net profit right here on this trade, and another 2% on this winning trade. All right, let's continue playing through the chart and see if we get another entry when the stochastic RSI is basically crossing over below this 20 level, or maybe below the 50 level. Okay, so we're going sideways. The stock RSI is cooling down. No crossovers so far below the 50 level. Okay, let's wait and see. Now our K line is already below the 50 level, so that's interesting to see, but we are still waiting for the crossover to form. I'm getting ready to place my buy position. All right, and let's see on this next candle close. We got our crossover. Let's press pause here. You see this little crossover right here. This is our entry. So we place our entry right here. Our stop loss is going to be the most recent swing low for let's do a 11 pip stop loss. So we're looking forward to target a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio all the way up till here. And let's see if this trade is going to be a winning trade as well. I'm getting ready to close the position using the sell button right here. All right, again, we are running in profit. The setup is not an ideal setup because we did not have a full retracement back to the VWAP, to our volume weighted average price. So this is a lower probability setup, I could say. All right, we are going back to our break even. We did not hit a 1 to 1.5 risk reward as of right now, so we're not stopping our trade out at break even. We did also not touch our break even level as of right now, so we are going to keep playing this through. Okay, right now we're consolidating sideways up high, and we hit our take profit target. Let me close this trade right here. Press stop. All right, so as of right now, the London kill zone is over, and we made a total of 6% net profit during the first kill zone. That's pretty ridiculous. All right, I'm going to be skipping forward now and to see the price action during the New York kill zone on Monday, the 12th of December. All right, now we are starting with the New York kill zone, and after such a profitable London kill zone, I would really consider maybe even just leaving out this New York kill zone and just securing our 6% total profit for this first day on Monday, the 12th of December during the London kill zone. But we're going to keep playing it. Maybe we get a retest of the VWAP, and we are going to continue on this overall trend to the upside. So let's see what's happening during this New York kill zone. All right, so we're going to keep playing it through at a 0.3 replay speed. All right, let's wait and see if we get a bullish candle right here. Okay, so we got a bullish candle, but the problem I really have with it is right here. We have a bearish divergence on the Scalper Pro right here. We're already relatively speaking, we're rather up high. So honestly, after such a great day, I would avoid taking this trade also because it's a low probability trade, since we have not fully retraced back to our average price line that we use as a reference point to basically decide if we're going long or short. So I am not taking this trade here. For a 12.6 stop loss, we would be looking forward to target a 25 pip take profit all the way up here. I'm still going to mark it up, but I would not take this trade simply because the probability that GBP USD is simply returning back to the VWAP right here at the beginning of the London New York kill zone here at 8:15 is just simply too high. So at 8:30 we get news, then at 9 a.m. a new hourly candle is opening up that could simply trap long traders into the market and continue to the downside to retest the VWAP. So we see what we get. Let's keep playing it. I'm not going to be entering this trade simply because it's not an ideal VWAP pullback entry condition. All right, so we did not follow up with the momentum. The next 15 minutes after our momentum candle right here, on which we would have entered, basically nothing happened. So if you were not in this trade already, I basically wouldn't consider it. We are lacking with momentum. So let's see what the next candle is doing right here. Another doji. So 4 very small bullish candles. That means there's not enough bullish volume. Okay, we got a nice bullish engulfing candle that basically got rejected bearish completely, but let's wait and see. So we are holding strong above our entry level right here. Let's see if we're breaking even further down. Is it still playing? I think something's lacking right here. Let me press on pause and play again. Okay, here we go. Oops, I did not want to do this. My internet probably just started lagging. So this trade would have turned out as a losing trade, exactly like I said, because it's not a high probability setup. The odds are stacked against you basically with being already so far extended from our average price. We want to see those pullbacks at least once before actually entering into a new trend to the upside. So I'm not taking this position. I don't count it as a valid trade entry because the VWAP is a crucial part of our strategy. Let's continue. So right now the stochastic RSI is on the oversold territory. The scalper at GBP USD is returning to the VWAP. The Scalper Pro is bearish currently. Let's see if we get a bullish entry setup. Let's keep playing the chart. Okay, so we touched the VWAP right now, and we got a bullish engulfing candlestick based on this VWAP here. We've got a bullish stochastic RSI crossover, but the Scalper Pro is still below its average line, so the trend is overall bearish. What you can do, you can, for example, do a paper trade and not risking any like real capital for a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio trade. I'd consider this as a higher probability trade because we now retested the VWAP and our 2-to-1 risk-reward target is exactly at our previous high that we formed around 850, 845, something around that time. Of course, we're not going to be taking this entry because the Scalper Pro currently is bearish, but I'm just going to draw it on a chart to see how it would have gone anyways. So let's keep playing it, and that's live backtesting. That's how you can actually try to simulate a live trading environment as best as you can possibly do. And yeah, I mean, oh, we hit our take profit target, so this would have even been a winning trade, but we did not take it. Also because we already had such a profitable London kill zone. So we are going to mark this up as a winning trade, but we did not take it, as this one was a losing trade. So even if you would have taken both of those trades, let's keep playing it, you would have still ended up with 1% net profit during the New York kill zone, with a overall profit for the day now sitting at around 7%. Alright, let's keep on playing it. The New York kill zone should be over very soon. Let's see if we get another crossover below the 50 level with a bullish Scalper Pro signal as well. Okay, so now we broke below the VWAP, and now we would be actually looking for short entries, but it's setting 11 a.m. New York local time. That's the end of our New York kill zone and the end of our trading window. Alright, so overall for Monday, if you would have taken those trades during the New York kill zone, you would have gotten away with a total net profit of 7% net profit by simply risking 1% per trade. So now let's move over to our second day of the week. And on Tuesday, the 13th of December, here on GBP USD, or basically, generally speaking, over the whole Forex, crypto, and indice market, whatever it is you're trading, Tuesday was a very, very important day because we received the inflation data report, the CPI report, also called the Consumer Price Index. And I'd say as a general rule, I'd suggest not taking trades with the strategy on high impact news days. At least during the New York kill zone, we got a few nice entries on our way into this New York kill zone when we hit the news right here at 8:30. So I'm not going to be including any trades on Tuesday for the strategy. I'm still going to show them where they would have been. So let's have a look. We got a bullish stochastic RSI crossover right here. The thing I don't like about massive bullish candles right here at the beginning of the London kill zone is that often they are misleading. So we would have already had a 20 pip stop loss. So we would have been looking for a 40 pip take profit, and that's generally too much. So I would definitely avoid stop losses that are bigger than 20 pips right here, and especially just when this London kill zone opened up, because only very rarely you see this trend actually continuing. Of course, we had a beautiful bounce off the VWAP, but this setup, if you see something similar to this with a very massive candle at a 2 a.m. candle opening right here, avoid it. And especially if your stop loss is also right around 20 or 15 to 10 pips is your ideal stop loss size if you're trading the British pound US dollar on a 5-minute chart using the Scalper Pro stochastic RSI strategy. So right here, this would have turned out as a losing trade. We're still going to mark it up, even though we are not taking it into our replay feature, because most of the time what you see is for a very major news event that's happening, that we are just consolidating within a small range during the London kill zone, and we're not here to gamble away our profits we earn with proper effort on Monday. We're not here to gamble them away or risk them away on days where basically retail traders are just there to lose their money on high impact news like the CPI news reports. So avoid it. We are not here to gamble. We are here to make money and also keep that money, keep those profits we made. We're not here to take daily trades, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to guide you here and give you a few tips here and there. So if you already made 7% profits, if you would have taken all the Scalper Pro stochastic RSI trades on Monday, 7%. Avoid Tuesday and Wednesday. You don't need it. You don't have to trade every single day, especially if we have such a volatile news report like the CPI news report and the FOMC news release on Wednesday the following day. But let's continue going through this chart. So we got another entry into the bearish direction. We got a bearish crossover right here on this bullish candle. We did not pull back completely to the VWAP. So I personally would have also avoided this entry because I like to see a proper pullback to the VWAP to enter into a trade. So this would have been another losing trade. So far, if you still don't want to listen to me, if you already use the strategy to not take any trades on those high impact news days, just take a day off, do some back testing, practice, read a book, or whatever you want to do with your time. Avoid those high impact news days, please. All right, so we continued moving our way back to the VWAP and we pulled back and we would have received another entry short right here on this candle where we could have placed our stop loss right here for a 10 pip stop loss. Let's see if we would have hit. We hit a 1 to 1.5 risk reward ratio. So this trade towards the end would have actually been a break-even trade. So we are going to ignore it basically. During the New York kill zone, that's exactly what I was talking about. We got a bullish entry right here, but because of this very manipulative high impact news day, we would have also been stopped out. Of course, there's a potential insane trade that if you would have taken that long here, you would have made a few pips here on its way to the upside. But we are not here to gamble, so we are just going to completely avoid this day. Alright guys, let's now continue with Wednesday. We're still running in profit. I decided to not take any live trades on this high impact CPI news day on Tuesday. You can do whatever you want, of course, but I would suggest to only paper trade, practice a little bit, go through the replay mode, practice on a few different charts, do some back testing, whatever it is you like to do. Avoid high impact news days. Let's keep on playing through Wednesday, the 14th of December, where we had a FOMC press conference at 2 p.m. New York local time. So let's see. So the first candle right here during our new London kill zone was a huge doji fake out candle to the downside, only leaving behind a very small body. Very weird sign at the beginning of the kill zone, but let's just keep on playing. We got a close below the VWAP, but the stochastic RSI is already in the oversold territory, so we do not consider taking this trade. Let's see if we get a pullback for the stochastic RSI while we are still below the VWAP for a potential entry short. We keep on dropping further to the downside. We have our Asia lows right here, so let's see if we break them and reverse from this point. Okay, we got a bullish pullback now on the stochastic RSI, and actually this would have been a entry short, or at least a considered entry short, but now we also turned bullish on the Scalper Pro and we close above the VWAP, so we are going to ignore this right here for a potential entry. All right, now we did not close below the VWAP. On this candle, we also didn't close below the VWAP, and we continued moving up higher. So this also wouldn't have been a entry into the long direction because the stochastic RSI did not cool off all the way down below the 50 level for a potential entry long. Those closes above the VWAP could have been a hint for you to, for example, take a long entry here, but we are sticking to our strategy, and the strategy says we need a crossover below the 50 level. All right, so let's keep on playing it and see if we get a potential entry long into this new direction. So we fill in this fair value gap. Let's wait for a stochastic RSI to cross below the 50 level. And I'm getting ready to buy and sell, depending if we're getting what we're looking out for. So now we're below the 20 level, and we got our crossover confirmed right here on this candle. So we entered a little bit early on, and live, our real entry would have been right around here. Our stop loss would have been placed here at 16 pips. I'm actually making a 15 pip stop loss out of it for the round numbers sake, and let's look for a 2 to 1 risk reward ratio. You see how big of a take profit target we need here with 30 pips, and we will see if it's working out. We took it anyway because it's matching up with our rules, and the FOMC news release is still a good time away, until 2 p.m. New York local time, so there's still plenty of time. So we're just gonna take this live trade right here during the London kill zone. Let's see if it hits our take profit target. It did not hit our stop loss as of right now. Okay, we are continuing higher up. Let's check if we hit a 1 to 1.5 risk reward ratio first to know when we move our stop loss to break even. So now we move our stop loss to break even. Our take profit target was a 30 pip move. Let's see if we get up to this point. Our stop loss is now at break even, so I'm going to close out this trade if we hit our break even level again. Okay, I closed this trade right here when we hit break even. Let's see if it would have eventually hit our take profit target as well. We're outside of the London kill zone anyway right now. Let's speed it up a little bit. Let's see if it actually hit our 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Doesn't look like it. The Scalper Pro is turned bearish right now. Bullish engulfing candle. And right now we're going sideways. Still indecisive in which direction we're going to go. And now we would have also been stopped out with a close below our entry, retesting the VWAP, and we're outside the London kill zone. So we're done with our third London kill zone right here on Wednesday. So let's keep on playing it until we get to the New York kill zone right here at 8 a.m. New York local time, which would be right here. So let's slow the chart back down to a 0.3 length. And also, this New York session wouldn't have given you a high probability setup because we have a major event happening right here at 2 p.m. New York local time. Most of the time, what we see on a day like this is nothing that we actually consider as a high probability trade opportunity. So let's see, we closed below the VWAP and we're right now hovering below it. So let's continue playing it and see if we get a potential entry to the downside. I'm going to take those trades now. Otherwise, people are going to complain that I cherry picked all of those trades. I did not. Those are all real Scalper Pro crossover and stochastic RSI crossover with the Scalper Pro in combination with the Session Pro VWAP right here. So we wait for a bearish stochastic RSI crossover right now. Below the VWAP, okay, the chart is lacking right now. Bar replay can't be connected. Okay, I'm going to make a quick cut here and I'm going to be back in a minute. Alright, let's continue right now. I fixed the internet connection problems. So let's wait and see if we get a bearish crossover above this 50 level right here. So now we are above the 50 level with both lines of the stochastic RSI. So we are going to wait for a potential short entry. Now we're back above the VWAP. And on this candle we close below the VWAP. So I'm going to enter short right here. I'm going to use the short position tool, placing my stop loss right here on this high for a 13 pip stop loss. Looking forward for a 2 to 1 risk reward ratio. Of course, like mentioned before, those are not high probability setups because we have a major news event happening at 2 p.m. New York local time, the FOMC news event right here. So this is not ideal trading conditions, especially during the New York kill zone if we have upcoming news, but I'm just going to take those trades. Otherwise, some people are going to complain that I'm only cherry picking a few certain trades. But with this video, I want to show you and prove it to you that this strategy actually works. So let's continue playing it and see if we hit our stop loss. I'm getting ready to close this trade in case we do. All right, we held resistance on the VWAP. Okay, now we're running in profits. Let's actually pause this trade for a second and check for our 1 to 1.5 risk reward ratio, because that's when we know when we're going to move our stop loss to break even. All right, retested our entry. Let's see. You see that New York kill zone? We had 8:30 news, right, or 8:30 news right here. Basically nothing happened. 9 a.m. the stock market opened up at 9:30 and basically nothing happened. Of course, now after 9:35, 5 minutes post New York stock market opening, we eventually got stopped out. So we are going to close our position right here for a loss of $1.55. So now we're going to continue playing for this chart. And maybe we are getting a new long entry since we're now closing above the VWAP. So let's continue. and we wait for our stochastic RSI to pull back below the 50 level and giving us a new stochastic RSI crossover. Alright, so we're pulling back inside of this little fair value gap here right around the VWAP. We did not cross below this 50 line as of right now, otherwise we would have entered on this bullish candle and we would have likely also hit our take profit target already. But we wait for the stochastic RSI to cross below this 50 level and ideally for a higher probability below this 20 level for a bullish entry. Alright, we're now below this 50 level, so let's wait and see if we get a new entry. We are still inside the kill zone, it's 10:45, so we have 3 more candles that we can go long on. Alright, let's keep on playing, Do we get a potential buy entry? And we had the crossover right here, I'd assume. Yep, right there. So I'm going to pause this chart. Right here on this candle, we had our crossover confirmed. We place our stop loss right here for a 20 pip stop loss. It's a big stop loss, to be really honest. So we're looking for a 40 pip move. I'm just going to draw in a 1 to 1.5 so we know where we are going to move our stop loss to break even. Let's keep on playing this chart and see what happens. So we're now running in drawdown. We hit our stop loss, so I'm going to close this position right here. I made a mistake, I clicked on the wrong button. So we got stopped out at our stop loss right here at this most recent swing low for a 20 pip stop loss. So we got a new bullish crossover right here on this candle. So there would have been actually a new bullish entry basically past our New York kill zone, but we are not interested in any trades outside of this kill zone because this helps you as a guidance to actually trade only during fixed trading hours using this strategy. So let's keep on playing because right now we are just waiting for our FOMC news release where we had this massive drop here and lots of indecision, basically a stop hunt to, or some people consider it a whipsaw movement where we had a stop hunt to the top. We liquidated everyone that basically went long into this market within a few 5-minute candles right here, and then we moved all the way back up to our high, liquidated people that went in long into this market prior to that, or short into the market. So a whipsaw movement, short and right back up to it, or a V-shaped recovery. No ideal trading conditions. And so far we had 2 losing trades here on this day, so I'm going to mark them up as -1. This was a break-even trade. So now we're getting over to our first day price action. We will see what the market offered us using the Scalping Pro stochastic RSI strategy. All right, now we're going over on to 15th of December, which is a Thursday. We're currently prior to our 2 a.m. opening above the VWAP. We just bounced off it. We had a downtrend during the Asian kill zone. So we are going to skip ahead until 2 a.m. We are going to slow down the chart to a 0.3x. And right now it's 1:45. So we have 1, 2, 3 more candles to go. And now it hits 2 a.m. as soon as I'm going to start playing it. So right now we're above the VWAP and the stochastic RSI is below the 20 level. So we could be looking for we had our open here, close here, so we're on a down close candle. So we are going to keep playing and to wait for a bullish stochastic RSI crossover. All right, we're still holding above the VWAP. And now we close with a bearish Scalping Pro candle below the VWAP. So we would not be looking for any long entries, at least as of right now. We would be now looking for short entries since we're below the VWAP, basically waiting for our stochastic RSI to cross over bearish above this 50 level. Still holding strong below the VWAP. We did not get a cross below the, basically above this 50 level. We got one below this 50 level. So we're not looking forward to take this trade into the short direction because it's not matching up with all the rules. So let's keep on playing this London kill zone on Thursday. I hope this video is not going to be too long. This is basically just a proof that the strategy actually works in a live trading environment. You have 5 minutes time per candle, so there's enough time. And if you are not used to the strategy yet, go through replay mode and use this awesome new TradingView feature. Okay, this trade would have actually worked out and would have given us a nice profit, would have hit our nice profit target of a 2-to-1 risk reward, but it did not match our rules because we got our bearish stochastic RSI crossover below the 50 level. All right, let's continue playing it and see if we maybe get another proper entry within this new London kill zone right here. Maybe speed things up a little bit, that it's not taking too long. Okay, we're still continuing to the downside, so this would have been a nice entry if we would have gotten that cross above the 50 level here on the stochastic RSI. We're still dropping, and the stochastic RSI basically been below the 50 level for the whole time. Right now we're pulling back to the VWAP, so I would not be looking at any new short entries for example, if we would get a short entry somewhere around this level, the probability would just be too high that price likes to return back to the VWAP. Let's keep on playing it. All right, we got a minor pullback. We're about to cross over bearish on the stochastic RSI. The cross has been confirmed right here on this candle. Not anymore. We're still going sideways on the stochastic RSI, pulling back to the VWAP like I mentioned before. Still not. Now we got our crossover confirmed right here on this candle, but it's exactly like I said. It's so likely that at least 1 wick or one candle is going back up to the VWAP, and it also already hit 5 a.m. New York local time. That's marking the end of our London kill zone, so I'm not considering taking those trades. Unfortunately, we missed this move to the downside right here. It was a nice setup. We had a beautiful doji right here, basically double confirming the resistance right here around the VWAP. The Scalper Pro was already colored in red, so the candles were also colored bearish, but unfortunately we did not get the stochastic RSI crossover above this 50 level. And this is exactly why I said the probability that we are going to wick, for example, right here to the VWAP is just too high. So if we would have entered short here, this would have just been a unnecessary trade, risking our money. So that's why we did not take this continuation trade to the downside, because we did not have a full reset, retesting our VWAP after this big massive drop to the downside, and see the distance away from the VWAP. So a pullback back to the VWAP is very, very likely. So right here could have been a nice entry. We got relatively close to the VWAP now. We got a bearish cross confirmation. Let's keep on playing it all the way over to New York. Speed it up a little bit so we are not sitting here for the rest of the day. So let's wait until 8 a.m. New York local time here on Thursday, which should be happening right here. All right, let's slow it down a little bit again. 750. Okay, now our New York kill zone is starting. We're below the VWAP, and our stochastic RSI is already in the oversold territory right here. So we are going to wait for another bearish crossover somewhere above this 80 level on the stochastic RSI. We have another news impact right here, which is the retail sales, but I don't consider it as a very high impact news event. So let's just wait and see if we get another bearish short entry with a stochastic RSI cross above the 80 level, or at least above this 50 level. All right, so now we are pulling back to the VWAP. I think the chart is not loading right now. Yep. Let me quickly fix that. Okay, back we are after this Thursday, 15th of December, New York London kill zone, where we had the stochastic RSI crossover, unfortunately below this 50 level for a short entry. So we did not manage to take any trades during the kill zone right here, at least on a 5-minute time frame. If you would have broken it down after missing a beautiful entry like this to a 1-minute time frame, I'm sure you would have made some nice entries and some nice profits. That's what I did on Thursday actually. Here during the New York kill zone, we went sideways and we were waiting for a stochastic RSI crossover bearish, which we got right here. But the Scalper Pro right at this time was considered bullish right here. So we did not get a bearish entry right here either. There was enough confirmation right here. For example, this little peak outside of our Scalper Pro band. Back inside a doji and a pin hammer forming right around the VWAP, with a bearish engulfing candle of both of those one candles here. We went sideways, had another beautiful bearish engulfing candle, but unfortunately the stochastic RSI did not match up here. There was not enough time for the stochastic RSI to curl back up above the 50 level to give us a short entry. So on Thursday, we unfortunately were not able to take any trades. And if we switch over to Friday, so this video is not going to take too long. The only entry we got so far today was here at 2 a.m. New York local time. We were already oversold, so we were not looking for a short entry. So we wanted to see the stochastic RSI to cross back up right here, maybe into above the 50 level. That's our minimum threshold we actually want. So we would be looking for the first crossover, and the first crossover really happened right here on this candle. That's when we actually crossed. You could have also entered right here on this cross, but let's use this cross right here. So this is our crossover. We place our stop loss right here for a 18.7 pip stop loss. We're looking forward to target a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, which would have been hit very easily right here on this candle. If you would have missed this entry, there was also another opportunity with this pullback where we actually formed a bearish stochastic RSI divergence right here. So we formed higher highs on the stochastic RSI, while we formed lower highs right here on GBP USD. We had a beautiful bearish engulfing candle. The Scalper Pro is still giving us bearish confirmation, so we also could have entered short right here onto this trade in case you would have missed this entry or you did not like this sideways movement for another 2-to-1 risk reward ratio trade. So this was the price action of today right now. Then we formed a double bottom and basically reversing back above the VWAP. Now we're currently inside the New York kill zone without a entry as of right now. So this is everything summed up for the current trading week up until the New York kill zone. But let's just consider this as our whole trading week and do the math. So now if we zoom out, we see all our trades throughout the week. I told you guys that another rule of the strategy is to avoid high impact news days. If you would have listened to those rules, that we are not going to take trades on high impact news days, such as Tuesday and Wednesday, we could have left out all those 1, 2, 3, 4 losing trades. There's a reason why I'm including this rule, to not trade on high volatile days with high impact news drivers. So if we, for example, ignore those 2 days, we would have only had 1, 2, 3 winning trades right here on Monday with 1 losing trade and 1, which one is that? That's not a valid entry. So that's why we considered a 1, 2, 3 winning trades with 1 losing trades. That's adding up to a total net profit of 5% here on Monday. And right here on Friday, this would have been our next trade, because on Thursday, unfortunately, we did not get any entries during the kill zones. We had another 2-to-1 risk reward ratio trade, giving us a total net profit of 7% over the whole week by just trading. Okay, we traded on Monday, we would have traded on Thursday, and we are trading today. So that's 3 days. We would have made plus 7% net profit. And even if you feel the need that you have to trade every day, no matter what the economical calendar is telling you, for example, a high impact CPI news release or a FOMC news conference, if you like to trade every day and you actually don't know when it's a good time not to take a trade, you would have still made, I think, a net profit of, so we made a net profit of 7%, and we had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 losing trades that could have been avoided. So even if you like to take trades every day, you would have still ended up with a total net percent profit of 3%, even if you would have traded those news release days using the Scalper Pro stochastic RSI strategy. But in my opinion, it's way more important to know when not to take a trade than it is to know when to take a trade, because it's pretty easy to say when to take a trade, but you also have to face in other problems, like, for example, high impact news releases like a CPI news report, FOMC news reports, and, for example, a NFP Friday. Days like this, or non-farm payment rolls, basically, that's what NFP stands for. Those are the days you want to disregard and not trade on. And then you can avoid all those entries, banking a beautiful 7% net profit, only working 3 days for the whole week, taking Tuesday and Wednesday off. Unfortunately, we did not get a beautiful entry here on Thursday, but it's still alright. We will see if we get an entry today on Friday during the New York kill zone. But I'd say that's it for me. I hope you learned something, how to use the Scalper Pro stochastic RSI strategy with this video. That's why I use the replay feature to slowly but surely play through all the charts, and also use this new awesome TradingView function here with those buy, sell, and the flattened buttons while going through replay mode. Alright guys, take care. I hope you learned something from this video. If you like it, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next accumulation zone video.